anybody remember when comics used to be fun? When it used to be enjoyable? When it used to have lessons and have action and have all these things that made it so enjoyable to even, I mean, people could read it. Even as a kid, you could read it and really be sucked in. But you're not getting that anymore. It's just a bunch of crap that they're putting out now. Now, Super Sons, when it first came out, had a lot of people interested in it. Because it was John Kent and Damian Wayne, sons of Superman and Batman, together saving people, doing things. They were friends, they were getting along, they were having adventures, and people enjoyed it. I was very skeptical about it, especially because of John Kent. And this was before they start the whole sexuality swapping nonsense and all of that. The reason why it kind of turned me off, and main reason, was because of John Kent, because I kept seeing something that I continue to see even now, and that is that John Kent had and has no personality. However, it came to an end, and then, I'll move on to other stuff, but they still do little stories for it here and there. They have one going on at the moment. Well, the one that they're going to put out pretty soon. According to this article here from Bounding Into Comics, it's the same kind of nonsense you would come to expect from modern day comics. DC Saved by the Belle Reve one-shot sees Super Sons John Kent and Damian Wayne learn about being non-binary. Because Christ forbid they learn anything about being superheroes or anything like that. This is the cover for it here. DC Saved by the Belle Reve. 8 Tales of Academic Adventures. It's $10 for it. But I mean, it's not going to sell, I can tell you that, because no kid is going to pay $10 for this when they could pay $10 and actually go and get some manga, which is more important. And this is not just a thing I'm making up here, because I've seen it. Right before school had to open, I was in a bookstore picking up something, and there were some children in there getting some books and stuff ready to getting something to go to school. And there was this one boy, he was in there with his father and stuff, I think, father and older sister, something like that. And in the bookstore had some manga and they had some comics there. He went and picked up a manga. It was, I'm trying to remember the name of the manga. I don't remember the name of the manga. Black Clover, right, it was Black Clover. Then he picked up one. And he came over to his father and he asked if he could buy this for him. And his father looked at it and he was like, you don't want any comic books? And what the boy said was no. He said no comic books. He said comic books are just nonsense these days. Manga much better. And that was it. I heard it and I said to myself, yep. And not the first time I've seen it. Children are not interested anymore because they're not interested in this nonsense. So you're planning $10 to pay $10 for this. Nobody's going to spend that kind of money for this nonsense. And how you talk about non-binary crap, and let's get into what it is they're actually trying to do. Hitting shelves on August 31st, the punily titled one-shot features present readers with an anthology of school-themed stories set across the DCU, such as one wherein the Suicide Squad must be dedicated. Alright, a whole other thing with that. Let's get into what it is above. Of a little readers know that the story would focus on a new addition to their social circle rather than the titular offspring of the world's finest. Yep, so they're getting ready to go back to school, right? And of course the nonsense has to start. So there's this boy in the school here, and apparently he's getting bullied because he's non-binary, and that's what they're trying to push, right? Right, so there was some new kid there, right? Wishing to extend a warm welcome, John moves to invite the new kid over to eat with him and his friends. However, before he can get out of his seat, the lone student has a tray of food dumped on them by a pair of bullies. And yeah, they may watch where you're going, oh, it's raining meatballs today. And they're going through this, right? So then we get to this part here where John and Damian are talking with him, and hear the cringe worthiness of it. I still think you should have let us kick their butts. What's your name, Sydney? Well, Sydney, I'm John, and behind me is Damian. our resident defender of the realm. Thanks you guys for sticking up for me, but I definitely don't want anybody getting into trouble, especially since I'm sure you've got some questions of your own you may be thinking about but don't want to ask. Last year I changed my name to Sydney. I felt the name my parents gave me was locked into a traditional gender that I really didn't feel was who I am. I'm non-binary here because anybody here, this is what people want to read in their comments. This is it. It goes on now. So here's John. What does that mean? The kid goes on to explain. It means that some people feel like they're a mix of both genders, while others don't feel like they identify with either gender. How do you identify, Sydney? I identify with both. I use they, them pronouns. They, some non-binary people like me use the gender-neutral pronouns they and them instead of she, her, or he, him. Does that kind of help? Yeah, it does. No, it doesn't. Oh, Father. So let me go on, and then we have Damian here teaching him a few things, how to fight and things, to deal with the bullies. And then, the next day they started to terrorize him again. Hey Jim, I thought you were going to wait for me. Get along here. It's definitely you. Make up your mind, girl or guy. And then next thing you know, like he knocks him out or something. And that's what they do. So here, John, guess you decided not to turn the other cheek. I decided to turn theirs this time around. Ouch. And on his shirt, not he, not she, just me. Right? And even you look at John here, this looks like a baby version of Clark Kent. That's it. I mean, let me tell you something. There was a time, as I said before, comics were good. But you see this nonsense? It needs to stop. It needs to stop. This going after children, pushing this non-binary nonsense like it's something supposed to happen. These are children. You understand me? Probably children who are like 10, 11 years old. What in God's name them know about non-binary and not identifying as either gender? I mean, if it have one or two, maybe, fine. But you're making it seem like this is a global thing. No, all people want is to read good comics. This is why children are turning away from the comic book industry. You have nobody to blame for it but yourself, because you keep putting out garbage like this and acting like everybody's supposed to love it. No. All of this they, them, thee, that, all this crap. What does that have to do with anything? No, you took this comic and decided to put into it here about how John Kent and Damian Wayne need to learn about their pronouns and acting like this is some big accomplishment that they're doing. People are not reading comics for this garbage. People are reading comics to get excitement, action, and good stories. What in God's name is this crap? Nothing of any kind of importance other than for you to push an agenda. That's it. Nobody's gonna buy this comic. You put it out there for $10, it's going to sit on the shelves and rust away and just fade away. Nobody's going to read this. But you don't seem to understand. And when you have these writers who are just activists and want to push their agenda down your throat rather than actually do good stories. Exactly what in this story would make anybody want to read this? Children are turning off from comics and going to manga for one very simple reason: better stories. This is not a story. This is some kind of social justice, identity politics statement crap. That's what this is. Why are you going after children with this nonsense? Why? Children want to have fun. They want to play. They want to enjoy themselves. They want to do what they have to do. They want to push all of this non-binary, trans, this, gay, that, this, that, and the other, and all kind of thing. This is grooming. That's why I look at this. This is grooming. It's sick and wrong. And when your comics fail miserably because you keep putting in rubbish like this, you then want to turn around and go to blame everybody else and act like people are supposed to somehow be sorry for doing this crap. did it to yourselves. You did it to yourself. This DC Saved by the Belle Reve is another failure, and it's not going to go anywhere because you don't care about telling good stories anymore. You care about pushing crap where the super sons have to learn about their pronouns. Absolute garbage shit. That's what you keep doing. Let me know in the comments what you think. You have a different opinion. I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put up a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.